Imagine sitting down at your favorite Tex-Mex restaurant, and there it is. A familiar side dish of reddish-orange rice, fluffy and flavorful, perfectly complementing your enchiladas or tacos. It is a staple of the Tex-Mex experience, but have you ever wondered how this beloved side came to be such a distinct part of this unique cuisine? The Spanish rice you enjoy in Tex-Mex establishments today is actually a delicious evolution of traditional Mexican rice, which itself has roots in Spanish cooking. It became a Tex-Mex dish through generations of cultural blending and ingredient adaptation, primarily in Texas and along the borderlands. This culinary journey began centuries ago when the Moors introduced rice to Spain. Spanish colonists later brought rice to Mexico, where it was transformed by local ingredients and cooking techniques, giving rise to what is known as Mexican rice, or arroz rojo. This traditional Mexican rice is often made by sautéing grains until golden, then simmering them in a rich broth made from fresh tomatoes, onion, garlic, and sometimes jalapenos. However, as this dish crossed the border into Texas and evolved into Tex-Mex cuisine, the ingredients and methods began to shift. The primary driver for this change was the availability of ingredients and the influence of American tastes. Early Mexican-American cooks in Texas began using more readily available and often less expensive ingredients. Instead of fresh tomatoes, they might use tomato paste or canned tomato sauce for color and flavor. This often resulted in a slightly wetter or more uniform consistency. The spice profile also adapted, becoming milder to appeal to a broader palate, and the cooking process was simplified for larger-scale restaurant preparation. This practical adaptation in Texas created the distinct style we now recognize as Tex-Mex Spanish rice, differing from its more authentic Mexican counterpart. A fascinating insight is that the term Spanish rice itself is largely an American or Tex-Mex invention. In Mexico, it is simply referred to as arroz rojo, meaning red rice or simply Mexican rice. The designation of Spanish rice emerged in the United States to distinguish it, perhaps reflecting an earlier perception of its culinary origins. This dish perfectly embodies the spirit of Tex-Mex, taking traditional elements and reinterpreting them through local influences and ingenuity. Ultimately, the transformation of Mexican rice into Tex-Mex Spanish rice is a flavorful testament to cultural fusion and adaptation. It highlights how food traditions are vibrant and ever-changing, shaped by history, geography, and human innovation. The Spanish rice on your plate is more than just a side dish. It is a delicious bite of the rich, blended culinary history of the Texas-Mexico borderlands.